The greatest enemy standing between you and the life you want may not be another person. It may be the voice that refuses to stay quiet. Every unnecessary opinion, every emotional reaction, every secret shared too early, every argument you didn't need to win, they all drain strength that could have been building your future. By the time people notice the damage, it isn't because you lacked talent. It's because your mouth has been spending energy your mind should have been investing. Strength is often misunderstood. People associate it with physical power, confidence, or influence. But history tells a different story. The strongest men and women were rarely those who spoke the most. They were the ones who knew exactly when silence was more valuable than another sentence. Ancient Rome offers a remarkable example. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by wars, political conspiracies, disease, and betrayal. Every day brought another crisis demanding immediate attention. Advisors argued, senators criticized, rivals searched for weaknesses. If he had reacted emotionally to every insult or publicly answered every accusation, Rome would have watched its emperor become a prisoner of other people's words. Instead, something extraordinary happened. His greatest conversations were not with crowds. They were with himself. The journal we now know as Meditations was never written to impress anyone. It wasn't a speech. It wasn't propaganda. It was a private battle against his own impulses. Again and again, he reminded himself that the first victory every leader must achieve is mastery over their own mind. That victory begins with the mouth, because speech reveals what the mind has failed to discipline. Look closely at everyday life. Someone receives criticism at work. Within seconds, they're defending themselves before fully understanding what was said. A friend makes a careless joke, and an argument begins that lasts for years. A stranger writes a rude comment online, and an entire evening is wasted trying to prove them wrong. None of these situations become dangerous because of the original event. They become dangerous because emotion begins speaking before wisdom has time to arrive. Modern psychology explains why. When anger, fear, or excitement suddenly appear, the emotional centers of the brain become highly active. Rational thinking doesn't disappear, but it becomes much harder to access. This is why people often say, "I don't know what came over me." Something did come over them. Impulse. An impulse, almost always, speaks faster than reason. The Stoics recognized this pattern nearly 2,000 years before neuroscience existed. Epictetus taught that between an event and your response lies a choice. That choice determines whether you remain free or become a servant to your emotions. Many people believe freedom means saying whatever comes to mind. Epictetus believed the opposite. If every emotion controls your words, then every emotion controls you. That isn't freedom. It's dependence disguised as honesty. Consider an old Roman courtroom. Two advocates stand before a judge. One speaks continuously, interrupting, exaggerating, and trying desperately to dominate the room. The other waits. He observes. He chooses each sentence with care. When he finally speaks, every word carries weight because none of them have been wasted. Who appears stronger? Not the loudest voice, the one whose silence made people willing to listen. This principle has survived every century. Walk into a meeting today, there is always someone eager to prove they know everything. They interrupt others, answer questions nobody asked, and fill every quiet moment with another opinion. Then there is another person. They listen longer. When they finally contribute, the room becomes still. Their words carry influence because they have not been diluted by constant talking. Scarcity creates value. This is true for gold, It is true for time, and it is true for speech. There is another habit that quietly weakens people: talking about problems without taking action. Seneca noticed that many people became collectors of complaints. Every inconvenience turned into another conversation. Every obstacle became another explanation for why life refused to improve. Days became months. Months became years. The conversations changed. The circumstances did not. There is a hidden comfort in complaining. For a few moments, it creates the illusion of progress. Talking feels active, real. Change is often silent. The person rebuilding their life rarely has time to announce every step. They're too busy taking the next one. This is why successful people often seem mysterious. It isn't because they possess secret knowledge. It's because while others are discussing their intentions, they're quietly executing theirs. Psychologists call this the intention-behavior gap. Announcing goals creates temporary satisfaction. The brain enjoys recognition before the work has even begun. That emotional reward can reduce the urgency to actually complete the task. Suddenly, speaking about success begins replacing success itself. Marcus Aurelius warned himself against exactly this trap. He wrote that a good person should stop debating what goodness looks like and simply become one. The sentence is astonishingly simple. Its application is incredibly difficult. Human beings naturally crave recognition, want people to notice our effort. We want encouragement. We want reassurance that we're moving in the right direction. But there comes a moment when every meaningful goal asks a difficult question. Are you willing to continue, even when nobody applauds? Because that is where strength begins, not in public. Private. A musician practices scales while nobody is listening. An athlete trains before sunrise. A writer fills blank pages long before readers exist. A business owner works through weekends that nobody celebrates. That these invisible moments shape the visible future. There is one more way. The mouth quietly keeps people weak. Gossip. At first, gossip feels harmless. A small story, a passing comment, an entertaining conversation. But every piece of gossip teaches your mind to focus on other people's lives instead of your own. Slowly, attention shifts outward, growth stops, comparison begins. Even worse, every person listening silently asks the same question. If they speak this way about others, how do they speak about me when I'm absent? Trust begins disappearing without anyone saying a word. The Romans understood that reputation was built slowly but destroyed suddenly. One careless conversation could undo years of honorable conduct. That truth has never changed. Employers notice discretion. Friends notice loyalty. Leaders notice restraint. The strongest people are rarely those with the sharpest tongue. They are the ones who know when silence protects, what words would destroy. And yet, there is one habit more dangerous than gossip: complaining or arguing. It is so common that millions of people repeat it every single day without realizing they are weakening themselves. The strange part is, they aren't speaking to anyone else. They're speaking to themselves. The voice inside your head is the only one that follows you every hour of every day. No audience hears it. No friend interrupts it. No stranger challenges it. Yet it shapes every decision you make. A person who repeatedly tells themselves, "I'm not good enough," begins acting as if it were a fact. They hesitate before opportunities, stay silent when their ideas matter, and avoid risks that could completely change their future. Eventually, life starts reflecting the story they've been repeating. Marcus Aurelius understood this invisible battle. His greatest enemy was never the armies beyond Rome's borders. It was the chaos that could grow inside his own mind. Whenever fear, anger, pride, or self-pity appeared, He answered them with reason instead of allowing them to become his identity. That is why Meditations reads like a conversation with himself rather than a book written for the world. He knew that if he could govern his own thoughts, governing an empire became possible. Strength begins long before anyone else can see it. There is another habit that quietly weakens people: the need to have the last word. Arguments often start because of a disagreement, but they continue because of pride. Each person becomes less interested in discovering the truth and more interested in protecting their ego. Hours are wasted trying to prove superiority while relationships slowly fall apart. Epictetus asked a simple question that still challenges us today. If someone is mistaken, does your anger make them wiser? The answer is obvious. Raising your voice rarely changes another person's mind. It usually hardens it. True confidence doesn't need to win every debate. It chooses peace over pointless victory. Think about the strongest person you've ever met. Chances are they weren't constantly interrupting people or trying to dominate every conversation. They listened, they observed, they responded only when their words added value. Their silence wasn't emptiness, it was discipline. Modern psychology supports this idea. Studies on emotional regulation show that people who pause before responding tend to make better decisions, maintain healthier relationships, and experience lower levels of stress. A brief moment of silence gives the rational brain time to regain control before emotion takes over. That pause can change the course of an entire life. Sentence spoken in anger can end a friendship. One careless insult can destroy years of trust. Emotional message sent late at night can create consequences that last far longer than the emotion itself. Silence often prevents damage that apologies can never fully repair. Seneca warned that every unnecessary word carries a hidden cost. Time spent talking is time that cannot be invested in learning, creating, or improving. He encouraged people to become careful guardians of their attention because attention is the foundation of a meaningful life.